So building up from that, I think certainly had the Congress performed slightly better, the Aam Aadmi Party would be in a slightly tricky spot. They've certainly lost their seat share. And well, kudos to the Westminster system for that. And we saw this play out in the 2017 municipal corporation elections in New Delhi, right, where the Aam Aadmi Party gets about 26 odd % vote share. The BJP is sticking to its 36-37, with which they go with 181 seats across the three corporations. Congress manages about 31 seats with 21 odd % of the vote share, which is very close to the AAP. Both in terms, again, there's a 5% vote share difference, and there's about 10-20 odd seats in the seat difference. And the BJP gains from the fact that the Congress has a resurgence in its vote share. And that affects the Aam Aadmi Party.
And credit to Ajay Makan for that. And Ajay did tell me this, that, that we, when I congratulated him, that unfortunately our resurgence is only going to help BJP. He said that.
That's true.
He's a very upfront guy and very loving guy. I mean, I just pray that he gets well soon and hits the track again in politics here. But he worked really hard, you see. For those 2-3 years on the ground against Kejriwal, he worked hard, and in MCD the Congress vote share went up. They did well in the Lok Sabha. But unfortunately for Congress, Mrs. Dixit went away, and Ajay got sick. He's under treatment, some serious treatment right now. So it just happened that it's becoming more or less bipolar, because Congress is virtually kind of given away. I don't think Congress is on more than 7-8 fight, even in contest, more than 7-8 seats. Winning is a long shot. And you have seen the tracker data. We do a daily tracker. So 2 months back, the gap was almost like 55, 25, and 5. Now it is like 50, 30, and 5.
It's been reduced.
And by the time the campaign reaches, if you go by the logical flow, it could be been somewhere 5% further up for the BJP, maybe 35, 36, back to the basic numbers where you said the core vote of the BJP and the core vote of the Congress would be somewhere between 5 to 10%. That would be the core for them. And Aam Aadmi Party core vote is actually 20% if you look at the core vote, which they got in Lok Sabha or the MCD and like that.
Absolutely.
Beyond that, the 30% is that the split vote. When in the Vidhan Sabha, it adds to the 20% of Mr. Kejriwal, boom, he touches 50% votes, And the moment it decides in the Lok Sabha, okay, I have to decide on the Lok Sabha, that vote gets 50-50 split. Imagine, half of the anti-BJP vote goes to Congress because they feel that's the national party to fight BJP. So Congress vote share from 5 plus 15 goes up to 20%.
That's a difference.
Okay, and the 50% pro-Modi vote goes to BJP, and that's where 35 plus 15 they touch 50%.
Absolutely.
It's very clear arithmetic when you see it that way. So, and Mr. Kejriwal takes 15 here and 15 here, 30% plus on his score 20, and that's where he gets into 50 when the Vidhan Sabha is there. So, at every level, taking into what Mr. Taleb said, and you just mentioned, people are looking more like BJP versus Congress at the national level, and BJP versus Congress classically even at the micro level.
Yes.
You know why?
Because his experience.
Because his experience, and also because the old guard karyakartas of both the parties, jo mohalla ke level pe, who are working at the grassroots level.
Yes.
The corporate level is the one where the person is not that senior that he would contest the MP or MLA, right?
Yes.
But working very hard. All right. So he will go and tell the people, see, I am here with you all the time. You may like to vote anybody in MP, MLA, but here please vote for me. All right. This is where the old core comes in. So the Congress and the BJP being the old core, they get into this level.
Localism at its finest.
Localism at the finest. Then comes the assembly level, where Mr. Kejriwal has deep pole right now and nobody in the front. He is enjoying the same scenario which at the national level Mr. Modi is enjoying.
Absolutely.
So they are both kind of alter egos, both like that way. And at the national level, Mr. Modi pulls it at his level. So Mr. Modi, Mr. Kejriwal, and Mr. Local. These are three. So it's BJP versus Congress, BJP versus Aam Aadmi Party, BJP versus Congress.
Yeah.
These are the three layers. Three split votes, and very classical, very prudent, very focused, very sharp. That's what Delhi is as on today.
Some of the smartest voters, you could say so. And in fact, I mean, if you're looking at a 40-odd% in terms of the number of people who think of the local candidate as one of the driving factors in terms of when they vote for a legislative assembly election, then certainly those numbers will go up at the local level or at the municipal corporation level.
Yeah.
And that's why I think the change comes in.
That's where it's almost about 60%.
Yeah, because
Practically speaking.
Yes.
Because that's the person who is coming to you and see you, hi, और जो सब्जी वाले को ही बोलेगा कि आंटी जी को क्यों परेशान कर रहे हो, ठीक से तौल क्यों नहीं रहे हो.
Yes.
Those kind of people, on the ground, मोहल्ला की politics, RWA की politics,
Yeah.
that is the politics at the core.
The primacy of local politics.
The primacy of the local politics.
Yes.
That's where it comes by, and I'm so glad. That's so much of vibrant democracy at work.
That's true.
That's the beauty of this democracy. That's the way, and I'm so glad that this split vote is in. Today only our national poll is going on right now, and actually I'm exclusive with you in that way. I say that way.
If I this is exclusive. First in your homes.
If I drop the number, apart from the routine mood of the nation poll, I have tried to analyze, and we generated data on the chief minister's performance in all Indian states, and we tried to rank on the satisfaction ratings. So Kejriwal came as the number one among all the chief ministers in India, were having the highest satisfaction ratings. Now, but that is not the key news for me. The bigger news for me is from that number that when I ranked them, I could clearly see among the top CMs with having the most satisfaction rating, majority of them belong to the opposition camp. And the bottom one, the majority of them belong to the BJP. So that is something which struck me. This is something very classical, where BJP is unable to replicate his PM-like CMs. BJP is unable to replicate inspiring CMs right now. Most of their CMs are not really carrying good numbers, and probably this is what Mr. Modi understood way early when he said in one of his Karyakarta meeting, which was covered in newspapers, that he said to all the CMs and all the MLAs that you have to start winning on your own.
Yes.
Stop taking my name to win.
Yeah.
Right? Because he understands that the more people win in his name, the more his brand is getting abused.
Yes. Dependency.
So the brand Modi is kind of abused to the hilt by his party mechanism.
Yeah.
A couple of BJP people got really upset and angry with me. It happened just 2 or 3 years back on one of the shows, a national channel, I won't take the name, but the BJP spokesperson was there, and they were not really, campaigning in terms of CM candidate, blah, blah, blah. And I said to them कि आप लोग ने प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जैसे ब्रांड को भी झंडू पंचारिस्ट बना के छोड़ दिया है. आपने प्रधानमंत्री को झंडू पंचारिस्ट. हमने कहा देखिए, मैंने दवाई का नाम लिया कि आपको सिर दर्द है 2 चम्मच झंडू पंचारिस्ट, आपको पेट दर्द है झंडू पंचारिस्ट, आपको आंख में तकलीफ है झंडू पंचारिस्ट, आपको खुजली हो रही है झंडू. आपको बीजेपी में सब जगह पे कोई तकलीफ हो 2 चम्मच मोदी पिलाओ, चाहे वो आपका म्युनिसिपैलिटी का इलेक्शन हो, चाहे पार्लियामेंट का इलेक्शन हो. आप अब्यूज कर रहे हो. यू आर अब्यूजिंग द ब्रांड मोदी. Why are you not taking the leverage of that okay, now that your national election is sorted out, try to prove yourself, your people must try to prove at the governance at the local level.
Yes.
And today's number are actually underlining and proving me correct again that majority of the BJP CMs are on the bottom lot of the ranking on the satisfaction, and majority of the opposition CMs are on the higher lot. Okay,
Yeah.
because why? Because of simple reason, the opposition chief ministers know well, we don't have Modi to make us win.
That's true.
We have to slug it ourselves. We have to work it ourselves. We have to do it ourselves.
That's
So it's one of those things कि मेरे पास में ऊपर
There's skin in the game.
बाप का साया नहीं है,
That's true.
बाप का पैसा
I have to do
नहीं
it.
है. I have to do it myself. This, because they know their national leadership is a liability.
Yeah.
Their leadership is an asset. In BJP's case, it's just the opposite. Their national leadership is the asset and their local leadership is a liability.
Punjab, Madhya Pradesh.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's true. That's true.
कैप्टन से लेकर के आप जितना देखो, सबने अपने इलेक्शन खुद जीते ना.
That's true.
I mean, look at them. I mean, all the opposition victories are courtesy their local leaders.
Yeah.
Be it Kamalnath, be it Sachin Pilot, be it
Yeah.
anybody, be Siddharamaiah, everybody. For that matter, even in Maharashtra, Sharad Pawar, Chavan, and everybody local.
Yeah, even the BJP local partner sort of aligns itself with the other local players.
Exactly.
That's how
Exactly. So they have to be very clear on that. I mean, I think Prime Minister is an intelligent guy. He is now refusing to become Jhandu Pancharist.
Yeah.
He is asking the BJP guys, look for your own medicine.
Yes.
Don't overuse me. Don't oversell me. And this is what the right thing to do.
In fact, I mean, the irony here is that Mr. Modi himself was the chief minister who at one point back when he was CM was ranked as the top performing chief minister in the country.
Exactly.
And perhaps could it be this, that because sure in his first term, the first 2-3 odd years, 2.5 odd years, you had Mr. Vajpayee's last government, the 5-year government that is. But post that, he had another government to, in that sense, oppose or present an alternative to that was at the central level, at least for 10 years. So perhaps we're shaping the polity or the political discourse in a sense that you have a strong center for a while or a weak center or whatever, and the challenge to that will not necessarily come from the parliament, but perhaps from the states, where you have a strong leader at the state level. I mean, that's been the narrative that, okay, Mamata Banerjee and others have been trying to pitch.
Yeah.
Haven't been successful up until now, though, but that's what Mr. Modi was able to do in 2014.
Well, he had to work double hard because of the 2002.
Yes.
You see, he wanted so desperately to prove that I am not winning because of the communal polarization. I am winning because of my performance.
Yes.
So he had to work double hard in that way.
Yes.
To put aside, even though 2002 is sticking with him even today. And to be honest, it has actually worked certainly in favor of him for the national verdict, because of the core Hindu vote is kind of sticking with him because of that hardline image, if I may say.
Yeah.
But his mandate was purely because of the progressive developmental politics.
The Gujarat model.
The Gujarat model that everybody talks about,
Yes.
right? So he carried that mandate because 10 years he made headlines also because of the vibrant Gujarat Summit. People were watching. Once the Tata Nano unit Singur was off, and then one SMS. It is a matter of folklore. It's those kind of things. See, he just typed Swagatam to Ratan Tata, and well, you have now nano factory in Sanand. So these are the things. These are the points which your generation picked up.
Yes.
If I may say, this is the guy on one SMS. He got nano factory in, and this lady, she just threw them out. Threw them out. And these are the things where he knows how to score a point, how to make a point. Even today, you will figure out that Mr. Modi is a master communicator. He knows what to be said, where to be said, and how to be said. When in 2014, he was launching Swachh Bharat and doing how to deal with the stress of examination and talking to the kids. Some people were making fun of him, and I was watching that, and I did tell them that you are not realizing he is targeting class 9th, 10th kids who are going to be voter in 2019. He is such a smart guy. He is making constituency for 2019. Those voters were almost like 10% in this election, when with the high turnout. And when you look into the vote share jump of the BJP, can you imagine?
It's unprecedented. That is sitting party, a sitting prime minister.
You may try this. Biggest brand ambassadors of Modi are the kids. I mean, and for the reasons they don't know 2002, they don't know about your economic slowdown. The kids talk about "Kuda yahan mat feko." You know, examination mein stress mat lo. You know, video game kam khelo. You know, the kind of the one-on-one rapport this guy is making. He is positioning himself more like a mentor to the kids. You know, while I feel that everybody should be doing that, every prime minister should have been doing that. Chacha Nehru became Chacha Nehru because we celebrate Children's Day. Because why? Because he, as the youth figure of that time, from the freedom movement, that was the persona which was given. This guy belongs to that team of freedom fighters, but he is talking about the future of India. But after Chacha Nehru, nobody talk to kids. Nobody ever made an attempt to talk to kids. This guy reinvented that, and his brand in that kind of a vote bank is amazing. He has a cult status. He is a rock star among kids. If you talk to the school kids, you will figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where it is carefully, crafted image.
Absolutely.
Which is there.
Yeah. I believe it was last year's Pariksha Pe Charcha, where there's this question from a mother who talks about a video game.
PUBG.
And ye PUBG wala hai. And then I was in that stadium at that time, and everyone just went all guns blazing. Like, wow, what just happened?
It just happened.
So I think that's just a connect. And I think, I'm not even going to look at it as we're looking at it purely from a strategic point of view.
Mr. Kejriwal also has that kind of image. You see,
yes.
The youth loves him.
That's
not
true.
that.
That's true.
His core bank right now, okay, I would say it this way. Bottom of the pyramid, that is the Juggi Jhopri, which is largely because of the
more social welfare policies,
free electricity, free water, free medicine. Okay, that has worked. Okay, a certain element of anti-BJP, that minorities into it, but a large element of the volunteers. Remember, Aam Aadmi Party, I have always said, it was only and only because of the volunteers. Look into the social media, look into the way they contested, they fought, and these are all youngsters.
Yes.
Okay.
That's true.
They carry weight. We know that this new voter is thinking, but this is the same new voter which is making the split vote. Mr. Kejriwal, I am voting for you in Delhi. Focus on that. Mr. Modi, I am voting for you for center. Focus on that. Mr. Modi, don't ask me to vote for a dumb guy in your party in Delhi Assembly election. And Mr. Kejriwal, don't ask me to vote for your dumb candidates in parliamentary elections. They are clear. Crystal clear. That's the beauty of it. I love your generation for that, bringing that clarity as far as the politics of this country is considered. And I hope that in the coming years, it will be taking strides in the right direction.
Yeah, I think that's the larger takeaway from this discussion, that the youth is the split vote.
Absolutely.
And sort of this generation will get to determine who gets to sort of sit in the halls of power. And most importantly, that the Delhi voter, and because I'm not extending this to the rest of the country because we focused on Delhi, but I'm sure it applies to other states as well, is a question of localism. Like Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, it picks up, right? Yeah. So sure, BJP is there at the center, but listen, the Akalis are the main party here, we'd rather have a captain. Yeah. So I think that localism is the true essence of Indian democracy in its sense. It's been there. I don't think we have to say, okay, there's a British period, there's a Mughal period, there's a Ashoka period. I think that the democratic sense at the local level has been the essence of Indian democracy, and I think that's what we're seeing.
That's where it is getting in, and one single line of a very typical consumerist approach: perform or perish.
Yeah.
That this is a new market, open market consumerist generation. You can advertise well. They can buy the product once if you advertise well, but if the product is not good enough, hell no, next quarter your sales are going to go down the ditches.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure having you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.